I saw something this week where Cam Newton said on his show, Fourth and One or whatever, him and the guy that he calls Peggy, which I don't get, but I'm going to stay out of that for now. Uh, where Cam Newton said that he's going to do, or he was quoted somewhere saying he's going to do everything in his power to make sure more black quarterbacks are on TV, and that's the solution for everything. And uh, he did a podcast with Jamel Hill where they were having this discussion, and the whole podcast for I think it was 2-3 hours. Virtually everything was about race, and I'm sitting there like, here's Cam Newton, a man that played football at a high level, particularly in college and even in the NFL. He's MVP and had one of the great seasons. And he's running his thoughts through a woman about football and about life. And he can't say what he really thinks because he doesn't want to get crossways with the black woman. And any interaction where you sternly correct a black woman is very dangerous for a black man. You have to have great reverence for women as a black man. And you have to bend over and kiss their rear end and pretend like they know what they're talking about at virtually all times. And Cam did. I give him some credit. He pushed back a little bit, but I'm just like, why are you even having this conversation with her? She's got a victim mentality. And that's what I look out and see across the board at all times is a victim mentality among black men, and it's because their conversations are being vetted through the eyes, the mind of a black woman, and they're constantly worried about what do black women think. And black women see themselves as victims. Black women see themselves as we need special handouts or we can't compete. We need things bent in our direction or we can't compete. And so we have a generation of black athletes that have grown up with this mentality and this matriarchal culture that unless things are slanted their direction, they can't compete. And that's when I look at like, why is quarterback play going the wrong direction? More black quarterbacks, less productive quarterbacks. It's the mentality. I think I want to play SOT number 6. This is Jamel and Cam on, being a black quarterback in the media.
I don't know if you've thought about this, but you're in a rare space in the sense like they're not, and I'm thinking off the top of my head right now, so if this is wrong, I think you're the only black quarterback that's on television on a major network. Like I'm and I don't know if you've thought about that because one thing that is definitely like you see, I mean, listen, you got Brady, Romo, former quarterbacks, Terry Bradshaw, former quarterbacks. Like that space has been dominated by white quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You're the only black one that has a quarterback that is on TV, giving analysis.
I'll take that.
And
you heard that, Gilly?
But I think that's important though, because the experience that you have as a black quarterback, being in the NFL, being a former MVP is different.
Yeah, but
it's different.
Can we keep it funky?
Yeah.
I don't get no Brady deal.
I know.
I don't get no Romo deal.
Exactly.
And that's just facts. Am I bitter? Hell no. Because knowing what I know now, being a member of the media, I know that Brady worked his ass off or has to work his ass off to get prepared for that show that he presents to the world. So does Romo. I see Romo covers sports like a quarterback thinks. And that's why I can appreciate it. It's like, oh, it's too high safety, get prepared for it. Like that's
Right.
You're not supposed to say that, but that's
what it
how
is.
simple it is. And as he's commentating, I can appreciate that, and I can see why he makes the type of money that he does make now.
But that's an opportunity,
For sure.
Cam, that they would not extend to you.
That's a fact.
And this is, you just watch. This is the dynamic that plays out in black homes, in black single mama households, that instead of telling this dude, Cam, the way you dress and present yourself doesn't put you in position to do what Romo, Aikman, and Brady are doing. You present yourself, there's so much extra to you in terms of your presentation. And it's like, I'll get killed because some of what Cam does is hilarious, and he has some talent. But it's like, when you show up dressed the way that Cam does, it's actually a distraction from what you're saying. And people, this used to be the standard in television, and it still is for white guys. Hey, what you're saying is so important, we don't want you dressed in a way that distracts from what you're saying. Cam dresses in a way that distracts from what he's saying. Anybody with a brain can see that and recognize that and would tell him, hey, man, cut that out. Then the other thing, it's like Jamel talking off the top of her head. Great, Jamel, but hey, Fox gave Michael Vick a broadcasting job for several years. And Michael Vick had a prison record, spent time in prison. And keep in mind, I love, defended, worked with Michael Vick, was a big supporter of him getting a second chance in the NFL after he left prison. I really like Michael Vick. Like that he's moved into coaching, blah, blah, blah. But let's just be real here. Michael Vick's command of the English language isn't on the same level as Troy Aikman, Tom Brady, or Tony Romo. But he was on Fox Sports on one of their pregame shows for several years. And then you start going, well, okay, how come Randall Cunningham or Warren Moon or whomever? But again, the standard used to be, and Tony Romo kind of broke the mold was like, hey, you got to win a Super Bowl. Then we'll offer you one of these TV jobs. And then, it's like you play for the Dallas Cowboys and you can get one of these TV jobs. It's America's team. Romo checked that box. He was the quarterback of America's team for a long stretch. And he's pretty good. And I know there's all these critics now that he's terrible, but he's pretty good at the broadcasting thing. But we're just now getting into an era where there are a lot of black quarterbacks who have retired, who are even available to work in television. And one of them, the one that won the MVP and went to the Super Bowl and has a big personality, dresses like a clown. And so, no, he's not going to get the opportunity that Romo and Brady and Aikman get. That's his choice. And when you have a community, a culture that's led by women, the tough conversations, the tough things that need to be said aren't going to be said. And even if they are, they're just not going to land the same. My father used to say all kinds of criticisms of me, and it landed a lot different than my mother. It's just a totally different dynamic. And so here's Jamel telling Cam, you're a victim. You're not getting this opportunity or that opportunity because you're black. No, Cam. Your command of the English language is decent, but it's not great. You dress like a clown, and you say things that are nonsensical a lot of times. And so you don't get those jobs. You don't get those shots. That's on you. I just, let me play one more example. And this whole thing was loaded with just excuses and victimhood and the whole nine. You know, I'm not going to, go watch for yourself. Jemele Hill did what black feminist victimhood women do, and Cam went right there with her. But I want to give you just one more example of just like how this whole racial discussion and victimhood discussion has undermined black men in particular in virtually every endeavor. And it's like, it's nonstop. Everywhere you go, black men are talking about being victims. Everywhere. It's ineffective. It puts you in a bad light. People don't want to be around. You might as well run around with women. You might as well make women your best friends and just have girls' nights.